Hey, LaTosha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you mind if I call you Tasha instead
No,
of
I don't.
LaTosha? Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for joining us on Boss Life Live tonight. I'm super excited about this interview. We actually are long time friends. We just haven't talked in like forever.
Forever.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so when I saw your page pop up the other day, I was like, oh my God, I need to reach out to her and talk to her. So my podcast is pretty much inspirational for women in all areas of life, mothers, wives, business women, if you still working 9 to 5, whatever, but it's just pretty much an inspirational podcast for women. And so this year I definitely want to hone in on confidence because that's my platform for my business.
Mhm.
It's confidence. So when I saw you and I was watching your page the other day and all of your talkings, and I was like, oh my God, I need to get him on my podcast because I am so intrigued on um building my confidence physically because I have lost like a lot of weight here recently. And so my biggest transition is the eating, because
Yeah.
I have to change the way I eat, but it's really hard for me to incorporate that into my kids' lives, like so for right now I'm just like at the point where it's like we don't bring in any sweets, we don't bring in any bread, we don't bring in any pasta, like anything that I can't eat don't come
Mhm.
in my house because it's going to be a temptation for me, right?
Right.
So when I was watching you the other day and I was like, you know what, my listeners really need to hear from her because I know if I'm struggling with this, so are other mothers and other wives. And just every woman pretty much, they even if they don't have children, because it's definitely hard to try to incorporate a healthy living with a healthy lifestyle, period. Like
Right.
I can go to the gym all day long, but if I'm going back home eating donuts,
Hey, yeah,
know,
they sound good too,
it
don't they?
does, right? And that's why I tell my coworkers, like, oh, I can wash this down with 2 bottles of water and I'm good,
Yeah.
like 2 bottles per donut, we good. But it doesn't work that way.
No,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately.
No, it does not work that way. So if you don't mind, give my listeners, my audience, a little bit about your backstory.
Okay, so when I start talking, I might be telling y'all the whole story. I don't know,
Go
so
right
I'm gonna
ahead.
try to keep it. Look, I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet.
No, don't shorten it.
Okay, so I was pregnant in 2009, and when you get pregnant, you like when you want to get pregnant, you don't really think about how your body's gonna change and if you gonna gain so much weight. But I gained like I was at 200, fluctuating from 200 to 201 pounds every time I went. My doctor was like, "Look, you need to slow down." I'm like, I can't. I love food, and I've always loved food, and so I actually was born in September of 2009, and I remember the following year was her first birthday, and we had our camcorder because that's when the camcorders was in. So we had our camcorder, we're videotaping and everything, her birthday party because it's her first, and that's like a memorable
Right.
event. So we end up looking at it somewhere down the line, and I was like, how you see yourself in the mirror and you
Yes.
don't look like that. And I
Nope.
looked at this video and I said, "Oh my goodness!" Like that, everything was disproportional. It wasn't even, I knew I wasn't in my size before. After I got pregnant, I knew I wasn't in my same size pre-pregnancy, but I didn't see myself as I saw myself on that camera, and that right there for me was a turning point because I said it's not the appearance that I wanted. It didn't matter what other people thought. But for me, it was like, this is not me. And this is not, I don't want to look like this because I know how I want to look. So from then, like latter part of 2010, I actually teamed up with a girl that I worked with, and she was all like, let's do this, and we started, and I'm real competitive when it comes to stuff I like, so we would like, how much you lose? No, I lost this, but it was nice to have somebody to hold me accountable.
Right.
But I started, my start place was just working out. It wasn't even the incorporating the healthy food. And because I knew that I couldn't throw myself into something that it was so much for me, especially for somebody who, I love food. I love all types of food. I love trying different foods. So I knew I couldn't just say, I'm not going to eat this anymore. And so I started working out, and I started tracking my food. So when I tracked my food, I saw, okay, like this day I felt so bloated. So maybe I shouldn't have ate that bag of Lay's potato chips. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't feel good after that. So I started tracking my food, and I started being intentional about looking at what I ate. And then down the line, you know, when I finally lost, it was funny because when I finally got to my goal weight, I ended up being pregnant again. I was like, dang, I gotta do this
you were looking too good. That's what the problem was. You were looking too good.
So, but just getting your mindset on, this is what you want to do for you. It's not for your husband. It's not for your friends. It's just the mindset that I want to be this way. And sometimes it takes longer for others to get to that place. But for me, you know, once you get off track from it, you know, so getting pregnant again, it just threw me off. I mean, I wasn't even trying to eat right, because your body craves things, and they crave things that you haven't had and you don't need most of the time. So I got, you know, I had to start all the way back over again. But yeah, I mean, it's a journey, but as long as you know where you want to end up at the end of that journey, then that's what you strive for.
Right. So now you have been doing, you used to do, I don't want to say bodybuilding. What is it?
Training.
Personal training.
Nah, I ain't buff now.
I'm sorry. I knew it. I just couldn't, my mind couldn't get it out. Yes, personal training. So tell us how you got on that journey.
So that also stemmed from just trying to lose weight. After my first pregnancy. So when I really got intentional about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to fulfill, I just started to do research on, like, what should I be eating? Like, how should I fuel myself before I work out? How should I fuel myself after I work out? You know, how far apart should I be eating? Should I incorporate snacks and you know, things like that we always ask ourselves. And I think I've
never asked myself that.
Biggest thing is eating. So it's like you said, like, come on, you know, you can go to the gym, work out for 3 hours, and go home and eat you about 6 ribs, so about 3 corn on the cobs, and then you're gonna be feeling like you didn't even work out. But I did, like, I started doing research, and then I said, you know what, this is really what I would like to do. I would like to help other people. And then I wanted to know so much about how to, not only how to get in shape and be healthy, but how to maintain it when you got to the place that you want it to be, you know.
Yeah, awesome. That's wonderful. It's funny, you said, you know, we always ask ourselves, I've never asked myself those, and I mean dead serious. Like, even in my
I know you're being serious.
I'm serious. Even when I was working out, like, I ate what I wanted to eat, or even if I was changing the way I ate, I never asked myself, you know, what should I eat to fuel my body to work out? What should I eat after I work out to keep my body feeling? You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. And I'm glad you said that, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's never thought about that. But I'm like, no, because I'm like you, like, shoot, I like food. You know, it's like,
I love, no. And then you grab anything anyway, because I noticed the reason why I had to ask myself that is because when you work out, and especially you doing hard cardio, or you're doing weight training and mixing it up, doing circuit training, anything like that was going to exhaust your body. You know, you feel like, I got to eat everything because now I'm starving. Now I'm just so hungry. I'm trying to reach for everything. And it's better to have something that's going to fuel you, that's going to keep you satisfied for a few hours, than just going to say, I'm going to eat this Domino's that's in the refrigerator when I get home, that was left over.
Right. That's true. In my journey now, I'm starting to figure out, you know, I'm struggling with still being a working mom, because I still work 9 to 5. I'm struggling with 4 kids, being active. I got one son that's a wrestler. He's at a wrestling match right now. My oldest daughter's at a basketball game right now. My baby girl has a volleyball game tonight. And luckily, my baby boy, he's out of season, so he don't have nothing going on. But normally we have 4 kids in 4 different activities at 2 different schools. So we're running all over the city, you know, picking one up, dropping one off, picking one up, dropping one off. And so when you're doing that from, like my husband had to do it today, so from 2:15 to 6 o'clock, you know, and he's in the midst of going to the other school right now because one just got done with hers.
Wow.
How do you yeah, like, so tell me what you eat.
Well, see, I can't even say that.
Them.
Yeah, it's harder. It's harder because once you get, I've noticed when you get your children in a certain routine of what they eat and what you allow them to eat, you have to break that gradually. Just like you brought it in gradually, you have to break it gradually. So you can't just sit down and say, okay, today y'all gonna eat all these vegetables on your plate. Don't even get up, don't look at me. You're gonna eat these vegetables, you know, because then it becomes a struggle, a power struggle, because they're like, okay, now all of a sudden, now I was eating potato chips with this hamburger last week, but now you want me to eat some broccoli. I don't understand. You confusing me. You know what I'm saying? So like what I've had to do with my children is incorporate the veggies, but tell them the amount that they have to eat. So like if we ate broccoli, like we real big on steam bags because that's the quickest for me. It's like put it in the microwave, steam it up, season it how you want to season it, and throw it on the plate. So I will give them each 3 to 4 broccoli florets. This is what you have to eat tonight. And that's been working because it's not like they have a pile of, you know, broccoli on their plate that they don't want to eat, but they can say, okay, once I eat these 4 pieces, that means I'm done with my veggies for tonight. Today I'm done. You know, I had them at lunch, now I have them at dinner, and now I'm completely done. So you have to gradually put them on the same way like you have to do. Like you can't throw yourself into this strict diet and say, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, because it's going to make you want to eat it. Like your mind tells you, anytime you say, I don't, and I'm not, it tells you, yes, you will. And it's right here smelling good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the same with our children. Like if we know that sometimes we don't have the willpower to do that, we know that they definitely do not have the willpower to do that. So our job, you know, is to just be the example. When they see you sitting down eating your broccoli, then they know that I'm not the only one. She's not just throwing stuff on my plate and she's not eating.
Right.
But she's also eating it. Daddy's also eating it. So, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
So going back to my question though, because that's at home. What do we do right now? Like
just on the go stuff.
Yes, for that mom that's on the go. Yeah.
So I would just suggest any kind of really good protein bars, really low in sugar. Mm-hmm. So because you don't want the whole thing to be sugar. Right. And then I also suggest any kind of small things that you can fix to go out, like grabbing an apple, grabbing some carrot sticks. This is the stuff that you pre-make. If you know your day is going to be hectic, prepping your food is the best thing ever. Right. If you know tomorrow we got to go to this school, I got to pick him up, we got to go back to here, we got to do this, then you have your little lunch bag. I've taken my cooler when we've had long days and I've packed it, and I'm like, we're not getting fast food, because then you get back in that mindset of let's just stop and get something. And I'm not like a salad person, so I don't like to spend $8 on a salad when it ain't nothing but lettuce. You know, but just prepping yourself, getting yourself, even if it's a sandwich, even if it's, you know, whatever it is, prepping your stuff before the night before. So all you have to do is go grab it. You just grab it, throw it in your cooler, or throw it in your lunch bag. And if you're out all day, then you're out, and you know, I'm okay, because I can just go into my lunch bag and say, oh, okay, I got this. This should do.
Right. Okay. I love it. Thank you for that advice. Yes, prepping is always good. Yeah. My biggest thing is, you know, like tonight, if I would have been the one, that parent going out, the only thing about that is when you get home, you're tired, you're just ready to go to bed. Like, you know. Right. So then you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, that's the life of a parent in general, especially a mother. You like.
Yeah. So you wake up in the morning, you rush and try to, like you said, trying to throw some stuff together. So we'll have it once we get in the car and get the day going, you know. But yes, prepping is always a great tool to do. My next question that I also struggle with, that I'm sure somebody in my audience does too, is that diary that you suggested. So I did notice once I started changing a lot of things that I ate, I noticed my energy level going up. I noticed how much better I was sleeping at night. I noticed how much better my body felt. So then, you know, when the holidays hit, I was doing good, doing real good, right?
That's what we all say. I'm with you on that. I was doing so good. Doing so good.
Right. I gotta put that out there now. I was doing great, you know. They sabotaged me with this stuff. But we had family over. So, you know, you didn't want to like deny people, like, no, we're not bringing it in the house, you know. So of course we had like sweets and desserts or whatever. We kept it to a minimum because my mom and my aunt are pretty much really, they eat healthy too. But of course we still had desserts because we got children running around.
Right.
So, you know, once I put that sugar back in my body, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Come on, man.
Right. I was like, wait, what you been doing? You been around? You know, but then immediately after that, I had the worst crash. You know, I felt my body just felt off, you know, and then it was easier for me to get dehydrated because then I started drinking nothing but tea instead of my water.
Right.
You know, and it was like, it was just crazy. So I definitely noticed. And then I called my doctor and he was like, okay, definitely track what you're doing this week, you know. And I did. And once I did that, I was like, oh,
yeah.
I know. I know the problem is. It's them chips I've been eating every night thinking.
What you said. Okay. They good though.
Right. You know, and I'm telling myself, it's just a small bag, you know, you can do this. And then I saw the little inches going on back up. I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So definitely, can you give us some details on how we should start tracking our daily eating?
I mean, just start small. Like, I know a lot of times, since we are in a world of technology and everything is about your phone, your laptops, your tablets, sometimes you can find free apps where you can download the app and all you have to do is either take a picture of your food that you ate or scan the barcode and put your serving size in. So those things are really, once you download them, they something quick that you can do so you don't forget. You whip your phone out and say, oh, okay, I ate this, scan or take a picture. I just find that the easier you make it for yourself, the better it will be. Because for me, it's like writing down everything. That's why I've gone back to now is trying to write down everything. And sometimes I'm like, I forget. So by the end of the night, I'm having to go back and say, I ate this for breakfast, I ate this for snack, I ate this for dinner. But we all make mistakes. We all forget. We all, you know what I'm saying? But you just got to do it. Whatever works for you, whatever's convenient for you, I would try to find that particular app or that particular way of doing it. Now, I will tell you, and I don't know if they're still doing it. When I did do stuff, when I first started tracking, I used an app called Spark People, which is like a free app. It's a free site where you can track on the site. You can tell how much weight you want to lose. You can, and then it'll tell you how many calories you need to burn per day to lose that amount of weight. So it's a really nice app to set up, and it also has the app that you can put on your phone where you can go in and put what you've eaten for the day. So,
and I also had the same app. I started out the same app, but just a tip for me. The best part for me was writing it down because I also can write down how I felt for that day, you know, or the next day I can also write down how I ended up feeling by the end of the night, you know, and then looking back over that. So definitely writing down, you know, the way that you felt after you eat certain things or the way that you feel after you drink certain things, you know, or even, you know, your bowel movements, how long it takes you to have a bowel movement, you know what I'm saying? Versus how long it took me last week when I was eating this and that, you know? So that definitely helped me in just writing it down. For me, the app was an inconvenience, probably because I'm not a tech person and I don't have to have the technology.
Yeah.
I have notebooks everywhere. I got notepads everywhere. I got thousands of pens. I'm that person. But yes, if you're a technical person, definitely get an app. Definitely, start tracking what you do and how you feel as well. You can even put notes in your phone on how you feel. You know what I'm saying? After
Right.
stuff. So yeah, that was definitely very helpful for me. Eating healthy versus living healthy. What are your thoughts on that?
Eating healthy versus living. Is that okay?
Living healthy.
So, I get my thoughts are, it's a big difference between eating healthy and living healthy, because most of the time when we eat healthy, we say we're on a diet. And for us, a diet in our mind is just a temporary way to drop a certain amount of weight, but it's not really necessarily our mindset to feel better. It's just we want to look better.
Right.
So, right. So when you're talking about changing your lifestyle to meet expectations that you want, then we're talking about a lifestyle change. That means even mentally meditating on where you are, meditating on the word of God, meditation. You know what I'm saying? That's like everything. The lifestyle is everything about you. It's not just your eating, but it's about your health, your mental health, your stability, and then your rest also. So it's just incorporating every aspect of who you are, and instead of just saying, okay, I'm gonna go on a diet for 2 months and I'm gonna lose this, because that's great. If you lose your goal weight, that's awesome. But after that, where do you go?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I want to go back to what you were saying about mental, because sometimes, for me, that was the biggest part. It wasn't me working out, because I can make up my mind to go work out. Right. It wasn't me, getting off of drinks, because obviously I can make up my mind to get off of a drink.
Okay.
But, it was more of mentally, Ebony, how do you want to feel? Are you tired of your back hurting? Are you tired of fluctuating, between your clothes and getting stretch marks everywhere? As women, that's what we deal with, For me, it was, are you tired of looking in the mirror and not being satisfied with what you look like and feeling like, and then you see your children is, my girls are my biggest inspiration. All four of my kids are, but especially my girls, because watching them grow up, seeing them being so in love with who they were when they were born, versus now the world telling them what they need to look like, what they should like. I got one who won't put the fork down. I got another one who put the fork down too much. And it's like, listen,
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute, y'all. I was like, we gotta come to a happy medium, like you can eat and you can't starve yourself. Like, this is crazy. Right. So they were my biggest motivation. So for me, mentally, once you make up in your mind, I want to live a healthy life. Like you said, not go on a diet, not restrict myself from things, not take away things drastically, and then, psyching yourself out. Like, and that was one thing that my doctor told me. He never said, you gotta change this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. He said, no, take one step at a time. Do something that you can do, that you're not gonna overwhelm yourself with, because everything else will line up. But nobody ever said it starts in your mind first. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the world, it's always a quick fix. It's always, it's always what you can do first, and then get to the next step, and then get to the next step, and then you'll get the results you want. It's not about the results. Like you said, it's about a healthy living, starting all over. Like you said, you got to start from scratch. It's like we introduce our kids to sugar, Doritos, Skittles, drinks, all this stuff. We got to gradually take it back out, not drastically.
Right.
So that was definitely something that I had to hone in on. It had to start in my mind first. Do you have any suggestions on how we can do that for our children? I know you said, the vegetables, starting them off slowly, but as teenagers, that'll work for small kids.
Yeah.
But that ain't gonna work.
Because I'll be like, you gonna eat this.
Yeah, my kids be looking at me like, stop playing, I'm gonna make myself my own food. Like, they're like, I ain't gotta eat that.
Yeah.
But just having that conversation with your children, like, how do you think we should go about doing that?
Now, are you talking about any age, or are you talking about teenagers?
I'm talking about teenagers.
Teenagers. Well, see, I don't have any teenagers, so that's gonna be a little hard for me to tell you that. But I would guess, like, honestly, I think that because we are so watched as parents, And I know, and you know, because you had smaller children, you still have smaller children, and you know they watch us everything we do. And I feel like even as a teenager, because I know for myself, I watch my parents, I watch my mom, and you know what I'm saying, and they think that we are still the smartest people in the world. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if we show them things, even if they don't catch on now, like the Bible says, you planted a seed there. So eventually that seed's going to have to come up. Eventually what you planted is going to have to be shown, you know what I'm saying? And even if they're not eating their vegetables, or if they're not doing how you would like them to do, it's still your home. You still have the authority to have what you need, what is supposed to be in the home, what's supposed to be in the refrigerator, what's supposed to be in the cabinets, in the pantry. So you know for a fact that right there is a good start, and you're saying this is what we have. And like I say, you either eat it or you're gonna be hungry. It's just that simple, you know what I'm saying? Or you gonna go buy your own stuff as a teenager. If you want something else, then you have to make sure that you're gonna buy it yourself, because I'm not buying this, I'm not buying this. This is how we're going to do. And this is our lifestyle now. It's not temporary, but we're trying to reach goals, and we're trying to be healthier, you know, starting now.
Yeah. And I would say, you know, even though I have teenagers, even when I said, you know, no more this, no more that, the way that I put it was because I can't have it. And because I no, I'm
sound like you.
Right. I mean, yes. I was saying it, you know, naturally, but as well as health-wise, because you know, I had a lot of health issues going on. I was tired of what I was going through. So when I made the decision to change my life, not my diet, my life, I told my children that too. Listen, if you want a mom that's going to be healthy, you want a mom that's going to be around long, you know, you don't want me in and out of the hospital, you got to help me. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be my support. And that's what my doctor said, like your whole household has to be your support. It can't just be you trying to do this on your own, because you will fail. You know, and that's a big part of it. So to the moms out there, or the wives, or whoever's in your home, you know, if you don't know how to structure that conversation, that's a good way to structure it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want me to be around longer, if you want me to be healthier, I need you to help support me. You know, it's not always about you. And that's one thing we should definitely be raising our children in, you know, to see anyway. You can't be selfish. You know, you can't be selfish. It's not always about you. And that's how we train our bodies. And I don't think we realize that we train our bodies to be selfish. You know, and that's why as Christians, we fast, you know, at the beginning of the year, throughout the year, because we're retraining our bodies. Listen, you don't own me. You don't tell me what to do. I'm telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? So even in our children, we have to teach them that at an early age. Your body does not tell you what to do. Your body does not tell you how to feel. You have to tell your body, listen, this is what I'm putting in you. This is going to make you feel good. And we have to learn how to say no to things anyway. Like we say no to everything else except for food, because we're in the South.
The devil know your weakness now.
That's true. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't curse, but girl, a Dr. Pepper and some free, and some it was hot flaming Cheetos. Like, girl.
Oh my goodness, not the hot flaming Cheetos.
Hot flaming with a fudge round. Like
she had the appetizer and the dessert, everything.
Right. And that was just a snack. That wasn't even the main course, you know. That's how we do. Like we tell ourselves,
that's how we
everything else. We restrict ourselves from living this life. Oh, I don't do this, I don't do that. But then we don't restrict ourselves from eating.
Yeah.
So that is that's a great point. So you have a page on Facebook. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the page is called Aspire to Wealth, and it's just about living a healthy lifestyle, wanting to transition from where you are to where you want to be. You know, on Mondays I usually do make the switch Monday. So like recently I did like taking your pasta, exchanging it for zucchini noodles or squash noodles. And I think I did also said spaghetti squash. So if you never had spaghetti squash, I suggest that you go and try it. I really feel like the more foods that we are exposed to, the more apt we would, we will eat them because we know how they taste. We know how to season them. So, and then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I usually try to catch up and see what everybody's doing. How are you doing on your water intake? How many veggies have you ate today? How do you feel about your goals? Have you achieved them for today? And then on Thursdays, I do tune up your thoughts, which basically what we just talked about. How do you, mentally, are you where you want to be? Are you holding yourself back because how you perceive yourself? Are you saying you can't do it when you really can? So where are you mentally? And then on Saturdays, which I haven't really been able to do it exactly on Saturdays, but on Saturdays, I try to do what's your goals for the week? Let's set yourself up for the following week and say, hey, I want to drink an extra bottle of water this week. Even if you only do that for one day, it's like you reached your goal because that's what you said you're going to do. So that's pretty much what the page is about. Just living, coming to terms with what you want to do, making plans to do it, following through and staying focused on it.
Okay, awesome. And then you also do beach body training as well.
So it's not really training, but like I'm a beach body coach. So I do, yeah. So a lot of the programs that I've done have been on Beachbody. So they have something called On Demand. So anybody who knows about Beachbody, you remember those when you had to buy the DVDs and it came with everything and it's about $1 billion. So now what they do is everything is actually online. So every program that they've ever had since Beachbody came out is all online. So that's what I've actually been doing. So I have access to like thousands of workouts. And so I decided, because it was on my bucket list, I said, I'm gonna be a Beachbody coach. I'm gonna see how this goes. But it's just what it's done for me is that at first I was like, I really want to make some extra money because that's what I would when I sign people up and things like that. But then now it's actually turned into, now I really want to reach out to others and show others that if I can do it, then you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm glad to mark that off my bucket list, but at the same time, I really, I really do have a passion and a drive to be able to help other people and, give them knowledge about their bodies and what to put in and what to take out.
Right. Okay. Awesome. So tell us where we can reach you. I'm sorry. Tell us where we can reach you. My throat is dry.
So you can message me through the page Aspire to Wealth. You can message me on any on Facebook in general at LaTosha Mclin. Look, I ain't giving out my personal information now.
Right.
Y'all, y'all ain't getting that. We ain't that tight.
Just your page information.
Yeah, but yeah, you can reach out to me that way. And I do want to throw my plug in because I am also an author. So yes. I do want to throw my book in, Transformation Identity Crisis, which is really my testimony, but dealing with my identity crisis and the identity crisis that I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that had, and still, still working through that. So I just want to throw that in because that's my baby.
There you go. Yes, I'm definitely glad to have you back on so we can talk about your book. That'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome to my audience. But yeah, so definitely you guys reach out to Tasha and look up her book, and it's called what again?
Transformation Identity Crisis.
Right, and we can get that anywhere
on Amazon. Okay. Or you can inbox me and I can mail you a copy.
There you go. Okay. So you guys, we got to get it so that you'll be caught up on the next podcast next time we have her on the show. So Tasha, thank you so much. This has been awesome. So amazing. And what came back to my mind a few minutes ago was you were actually the first person I think I reached out to help me lose weight. Yeah. So yes, I think you were like, I'm done with Ebony. That's it. I'm done. So that took me like what, 6-7 years later.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, to make up my mind, but we had small kids. I was going through a lot, and it was crazy. But anyways, guys, Tasha is amazing. and what she does. She knows what she's doing. So definitely reach out to her on Facebook, Aspire to Wealth, and let her know if you have any questions, any thoughts. Just, like the page and get on the page and be a part of the community, just so you will know what's going on. If you don't want to reach out personally, that way you have tips and things, look forward to help you grow throughout your day and your week. But LaTosha, thank you so much for coming on Boss Life Live. This was so much fun, and I can't wait to do it again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So have a great week, and I will talk to you guys later. You guys know where to find us anywhere you listen to music. Make sure you like, share, and leave a response, comment, and share it with a friend. If this wasn't just instrumental to you, someone who can help, this would help, definitely share it with them as well. So I will see you guys next Tuesday.